Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast, or pregame show, I should say, brought to you by Bet365. We got the whole squad here as the Avs, kind of important game, taking on the Dallas Stars. Some implications at the top of the Central Division here. The Avs kicking off a very tough stretch of games. You can say they kicked it off against the Islanders if you want, whatever.
This is the real beginning of it, though.
Yeah, for real. Kind of a big deal, kind of a big game. You'll also get the probably in the middle of this pregame show, actually, the announcement of the All-Stars from the West. You already got the All-Stars from the East. A lot going on tonight. For the Avs, coming into this one, I don't want to talk expectations necessarily, but let's talk about it this way. Who's the better team on paper right now, Colorado or Dallas?
On paper, they're pretty even, honestly.
Fair.
They're very, very similar in their profile. It's just the way that it happens is the way that it gets done is a little bit different. The Avs do it with superstars, and the Stars do it with depth.
Yep. You also
Well
have.
said.
Oh, go ahead.
No, well said. I mean,
I think it's an interesting balance, right? Because you have a defensive side, which you probably get the nod to the Avs, but it's not like Dallas's defense is not solid. Haskin and Lindell, etc.
Very good suppression of quality from the Stars this year.
Yep.
They do a really good job of limiting chances against.
saw that.
So it's a tough pick 'em, to put it that way. Should not be one that you go in thinking, oh, the Avs should win this, but one that you reasonably still want them to win.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes exactly. For the Avs, the one big change here, no Ben Myers. Not big change. I mean, whatever. Call it what you want.
Come on.
Are you looking at Colorado to keep up with the depth, or is this another night where the Avs might have to outscore their problems?
The goaltending is really interesting on either side. Like,
It is.
Georgiev has been through an interesting stretch lately, and they don't have Ottinger. So that's usually where I would say on paper Dallas gets the nod as goaltending, but tonight it's a little bit unclear to me. So there's an opportunity for the Avs depth to continue contributing. You know, I look at some of the success that they've been having within the top six that they do need to continue to build upon, but it's going to be something that Dallas's forward group challenges them line by line, and there's opportunity there then for Avs depth to step up. But because of the role that MacKinnon's been on, I still think that this is a game wherein the Stars on Colorado, lead from the top. I think they have to. It's an important game. They haven't played great on the road through this point.
Very true.
And that's where I think especially Colorado Stars can really take ownership and pride in this game.
I'm pumped for the game. Like, I'm pumped. Not because I got into a little tiff right now, but I'm pumped for the game. This is one of them. Like, we haven't said that word in a long time, measuring stick, you know what I mean? But this is a good game for the Avs to see where they're at. Like you were saying. But to get back to your original question, here's the difference for me. On paper, very similar. We just talked about. I mean, if you're a fan of one, you'll say this way. If you're a fan of the other, but realistically, they're so similar. Like, in a sense that they're both good teams. They're built a little differently, what we talked about. But there's one thing that Dallas Stars do not have. It's that championship pedigree. And I know it's not fair to say it, but it's true. They haven't won.
It is fair to say it because they don't have it.
That's my point. But I always like, until you do it, you can't say, remember Alex Ovechkin for years, like, oh, I can't win with Ovechkin. And all of a sudden you win. And that's why he ended up in, like, no shirt on for a few days. And of course, it's so pumped to win, But what I'm saying is the Avs have that. There's a lot of Stanley Cup rings in that room. And if people think it's not important, it is important, especially come playoff time.
That's that's the thing.
Yeah.
In the playoff time, I get it.
That's
It
my point.
matters.
Yeah.
Does it matter for a game in the middle
That's
of
what I was
January?
going to say. Yeah. In the middle of January, now you have to have guys learn how to, especially guys that have never won. So I'm thinking of like Woody. I'm thinking of Georgiev that we just talked about. This is a game that you have to show your peers, hey, I can get you out of trouble. I can get one for you, even if you're not on your A game. And I'm not saying they won't be on their A game, but you have to show your teammates, the guys that come the big dance will be embarking with you, that you can do it. And last year, I'm not blaming Georgiev, I'm saying, but he didn't do it. They lost in the first round. So now you got new bodies, whether it's Ryder or whether it's Woody. Colton's done it. Obviously, he's won with Tampa, but there's some new guys. You know what I mean? That you come in there, and you have to show what you can do. And tonight is a big test for that, in my opinion.
I think part of that question is you're asking, where are the ceilings at? We've talked a lot about over the last 10, 15, 20, 25 even games. You've seen Jonathan Drouin become the guy you want him to be in Colorado. Right. What does a guy look like that against a team you could make an argument the Avs could be playing against in the second round of the playoffs?
First round.
Could be first round too. Obviously, however it shakes out is what it is. But can Drouin show up and continue to be that guy against quality competition instead of, and this is no offense to teams like Arizona or teams like Chicago, but they're on a lower level than a team like Dallas is.
A little offense.
Well, but they'll be there one day, right? Phoenix, Arizona, they'll be there one day. Right now, the big cogs are Avalanche, Winnipeg, and Dallas in that division, right? Yeah. There's a big separation between those three and the rest of that division, So, yeah, and I forgot to say Drouin when I was talking about Woody and, those guys. And Drouin, now he's showing first 10 games that he was probably incapable of gaining their trust. Yeah. And then now he's showing that he's capable of gaining their trust. And now they're like, okay, let's see it until the big dance and then see how you do in the big dance.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's get to Big E's 3 keys of the game here because the Avs are going to need to hit on their keys to beat a team like Dallas.
That's right. And, we talk about Road Warriors. I think Megan just talked about it 2 seconds ago. They haven't been good this year besides the first, 4 games on the road that they won, and then they broke that record with last year's streak. Yeah, it hasn't been good enough. It hasn't been acceptable. So you got to be on your A game tonight because Dallas has not lost 2 games in regulation at home this season in a row. So they just lost to Montreal, right? 4-3. Dallas, AJ just talked about it, plays tight defensively. They're top 5 in the league in high quality chances, I believe. That was reading today. I don't remember if it was quality chances or if it was chances, But anyway, take advantage of Ottinger's absence. Push the pace. Number 2, Robertson and company, beware. That's an elite player. There's some elite players over there. Yeah, they're built a little differently than the Avs because they're built more on depth, like we just said. But they do have some guys. They've scored at least 4 goals in 6 of their last 7 home games. That's a lot of goals. Good spread out scoring in their lineup, and then they have good reads, in the D zone and get out of there quick. You don't want to spend time in your own end tonight. Go spend time in their own end. How does that work? That's why I love Sammy G being back. Sammy G's really good at that usually, right? Devontae's, obviously Kale. Get out of your own end. Just get going. Go play in their end. Nobody wants to play in their own end. Number 3, God, it's a stupid one in the sense that you almost got to put it up there almost every game. But tonight, you win the special teams battle. In my mind, you win the game. It's going to come down to that. If both teams are on their A game and no one's having a sleep fest or a snooze fest or, not having their game, that's going to be the difference in this game because they're both good on their special teams.
Yep.
Or great. Right? We can even say great. I know we get pissy about the Avs power play, but they are great.
Some
AJ,
nights,
they are great.
Some nights they're great. Yeah.
The world's angriest people covering a team that consistently has the 7th or 8th best power play, where you're just like,
but it's boring.
Yeah. They don't move.
Buddy, they got 20 power play goals the last 12 games or something like that. Come on. You can't say it's bad.
No.
Is it frustrating? Yes, we get frustrated. But they're elite guys. They make their money on the power play.
These guys make it work.
They do. And look at Ray. Ray Bennett's in charge of the power play. And what is it? He has no more hair. That's it. Just telling you.
That's too good.
So it's pretty impressive. He can't even see over the bench.
I love Ray. He's a good man.
Toxic. I want to ask, because, you're looking at your stars to do some heavy lifting for you tonight, but is there someone that you think needs to take a step up from where they've been lately? I think pretty obviously MacKinnon has been on an absolute ridiculous level for a good while now. Is it a Mikko? Is it a Rantanen? Or is it a Makar, rather? Is it someone down the lineup a little bit further that you think needs to be better?
I got my guy, but I'm going to wait for you guys.
For me, it's Makar.
Okay.
For me, it's Makar. I mean, I know he has a bunch of assists recently. He had, 3 last game?
And I think everyone came out of that saying he just played okay.
Yeah.
And he did. And he was okay. He wasn't more than that.
There were moments of brilliance, but you really want to see him. He's capable of being such a high impact player at times that when he has a 3-assist game where his game otherwise looks ho-hum.
Yeah.
If Sam Girard has that, we're like, that's going to be the best game he plays all season. But with Makar, the ceiling is so high that kind of a shrug it off 3-assist game is a thing that can happen for that guy sometimes. And the other thing, you look at the assists that he gets, he's not doing anything spectacular. It's another guy. It's a pretty basic thing that he does, and somebody else does something great at the end of it. It's hockey. That is how assists work from time to time. But with Makar, he can be a game changer. He can make game-changing plays on his own. And this is the kind of game that you would like to see that from him. So, MacKinnon just keep
being MacKinnon.
Just keep dominating the league like it's not a big deal. And
Pete Blackburn put it on the What Chaos show. Keep playing extremely violent hockey.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we have one Makar. Are we doubling down, or are we picking somebody else?
I'm picking Ryan Johansson because if he's going to stay in the top 6, and has an asterisk by it because we don't know if he will stay in the top 6, Val Nichushkin can't do all the heavy lifting. And when we talk about the top guys, he's not currently in that conversation. He hasn't earned that place. Jonathan Drouin has entered that conversation and being considered a player we can look to help on any given night. Ryan Johansson has not been that, and I think it's a perfectly appropriate time opposite of Matt Duchene. These two players, their fates coming out of Nashville have followed very different paths. Matt Duchene has found a way to have an impact on his Dallas team, and I'd like to see Ryan Johansson, assume more of an impact, because that is what he was brought here to do, and he is on thin ice too. I think that there's a lot of concern around what his role looks like in Colorado moving forward, and these big games are where he can flex some of his veteran leadership that he brought with him from Nashville.
Let's be real, he has 5 points in his last 17 games.
Duchene has 32.
Yeah, and Johansson doesn't have the defensive acumen to say, well, he's not producing, but he's doing these other things in the lineup. He just kind of doesn't fit if he's not producing points in Colorado. So, love the call out. They do need better there for sure.
Here's mine. He was okay at the start. He was really good after. I feel lately he's okay. It's not bad. He's good. But a game like tonight, my guy is Woody Woodpecker. I want Woody to just go with complete abandon and reckless, whatever you call this, reckless abandon. Sorry, there's a French. Right? See that? The words are upside down in French. So not abandon, reckless, but reckless abandon. And go at them and push their Ds back. And, they set the tone on the pace. And, Val does it. Val does it with his stick and his tenacious effort. Like, I want this guy to go with tenacity, just being nuts, being what he does. His pants are unbuttoned and he just freaking goes. And, it's just a mess. And like I said, he lost an eyebrow one time, forechecking. Like, it just goes. And I want that when you're on the ice tonight. I want us to be like, oh, my God, Woody's all there. It's crazy. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm looking for tonight, because I know that Mac's going to be there. I know Mikko's going to be. And again, I agree with the picks you guys said. That's no one has it. But I'm saying more on the energy level. I'm looking for Woody Woodpecker to just really, for the 14 minutes he's going to be out there, to just be a difference maker.
And you know that Mason Marchman's going to do that on the other side.
That's my point.
That's exactly who I think of.
Match that crazy.
That's it. Do it.
At least.
And he does, and he's done it. He's been awesome. He's been awesome. But I think tonight, measure yourself a little bit. Like I said, measuring stick, right? Measure yourself against those guys. And
Just a couple of red flags smashing into each other.
who cares?
All right. Well, I'll take the obvious one then. Alexander Georgiev. I get it. There over this last stretch,
You're
if you
right.
look at it, he has been a bit better on average. I think it's a 908 in his last 20 games or
After
something
the
like
last
that.
game, I'd have to check again.
Probably went back down, but maybe not quite as bad as the numbers suggest. But still, you
Correct.
need better from that guy. He can't be putting up an 820 every third game. You need that guy to come in and win you some hockey games when in far too many nights this season, it's felt like the Avs have won in spite of that guy. You're not going up against Jake Ottinger. You're not looking at one of the best goalies in the league in the other net. You got to go out and be better than Scott Wedgwood tonight if you're Alexander Georgiev. Give the Avs not just a chance to win, but win the game for them. Make their life easier for once. They do plenty of making Georgiev's life harder. So do it yourself, Georgiev. That's where I'm at for a guy to pick.
I like it. If I can add to that is last game, remember we're all sitting here, got to pull him. And, again, I would have pulled him. But I love the fact that he didn't. I love the fact that he let him fight through. You know what I mean? And I think that sometimes it can help you. Like, sometimes, don't kid yourself as a goalie. Like, you never want to get pulled. But sometimes it's like it's the easy answer. It's the easy way out. I got pulled, and then you don't have to fight through that problems you're going through. He clearly wasn't feeling it. He wasn't feeling it. Everything was an adventure. You know what I mean? But then I like the fact that he let him fight through. And don't think that he didn't, got on the horn and talk with UC Parker, and make a decision. Obviously, I'm assuming. But I thought, looking back at it, I thought it was the wrong call. And again, they work and they won in overtime. And everybody's happy. But looking back at it now, I do believe it was the right call.
Well, and the goaltending is such a mental position that in the absence of confidence in oneself, getting it from somebody else can sometimes pick you back up. And Bednar showed quite a bit of confidence in his guy to just say, I'm not doing it.
Play through it, man.
I'm not doing it. He said after the game, I thought about it and just decided that we were just going to let him be.
And
a good bounce back performance tonight really rewards that faith.
And I'm not trying to jump in, but I'm saying, and on top of it, we were looking at the schedule like, God, it doesn't really get easier. You know what I mean? And that's why I was like, all right, pull the trigger, let him, get some rest now the rest of the day. But maybe it would have been more harmful. You know what I mean? Let's say the Avs end up losing and then he got pulled. Then you're talking about confidence.
Yeah.
Then you got a fragile goalie now. So who knows?
All right. Fair enough. Let's get to my bets on this one. We're going with our Bet Master Dre's parlay for the game tonight. You get Mac 2+ points and Avs on the money line. You get plus 210. You do not get Avs plus money on the money line very often. So feel free to take that one parlay or not if you're looking for a little bit
What's
of
the
extra
first
plus.
one there?
Mac 2 points or more.
Oh,
that's just both of them together are same game parlayed. That's all.
same game SGP.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
So you can jump on those two. Didn't want to put them on here because I'm not putting that juju out in the world, but pretty safe bets when Dallas is playing the Avs. Joe Pavelski goal, Matt Duchene goal. Maybe splash a little bit of money on those two. Just throw them out there. You usually get rewarded for doing that. So those are options too over at Bet365.
You know that countdown is on from puck drop in the first period. It's like,
Can you get through the first 5 minutes without Joe Pavelski's goal?
how long until the
unreal.
Joe Pavelski goal? Yeah. It's inevitable.
Avalanche
Certainly
killer.
seems that way. Get over with Bet365. Sign up with the DNVR 365 code. Put at least $10 in. You get $150 in bonus bets. And take a picture of your account with that $10 in there. Send it to promo@thednvr.com. And you get yourself a coupon for a free DNVR shirt from the DNVR locker. So get in it. Get some Avs merch. Get some cool stuff. Sign up with the DNVR 36 code over at Bet365. Of course, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. I don't think there's a whole lot of beating around the bush with this game. You're going to have one team coming out feeling like they're the best team in the Central tonight. Hopefully it's the Avs from our perspective, but they're going to have to earn it against a team like Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas has a games in hand advantage on the Avalanche. So if they really want to, I think it's 3 points right now.
Yep. With a 2-game, I think.
You beat them in regulation tonight. You have a 5-point lead over Dallas, and you start to feel like, all right, maybe some separation here is beginning to happen, and you're going to really need it over the next 2 months. I really can't stress this enough. Your schedule's very, very difficult.
Hardest in
starting
the NHL.
With this game.
Yep.
Starting with this game. So you're beginning to run the gauntlet tonight. You're going to want to hit the ground running.
The schedule doesn't get any easier, so the points are only going to be harder to come by. And there's a lot of things the Avs play through behind the scenes, but knowing that they're battling through a little bit of illness right now, I know they're Warriors and they can work through that, but it is important that they don't allow that to be a reason not to give 100% effort. I think the guys who are feeling a little bit healthier need to take a little ownership then, especially tonight.
I'm down for a flu game.
Right?
Somebody's flu game.
Remember Landeskog?
Yeah. I remember him passing out after scoring the game-winning goal, essentially.
That's fine.
Sometimes you play better that way, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you just kind of...
Turn the brain off a little bit.
You just kind of don't overthink. You rest that day.
Keeping it simple.
You keep it simple, and then you're like, all right, I got to muster up some energy, and you do. So
Sometimes.
happens more often than you think.
It's in Dallas. Let's get a Nichushkin hat trick.
Ooh, that'd be fun. A lot of ex-Dallas gang on the Avs.
Yeah,
to be fair.
the curse of the X's in this game has a very strong energy to it.
This is Kiviranta's game, and Kiviranta's
a hat trick
only.
against Dallas's backup.
The ex-Dallas hat trick. Nichushkin scores. Kiviranta scores. Olofsson
Freddie
scores.
throws in a few just for fun.
Yeah, that's a good way to start. Those three can score, and then we'll worry about the rest after that.
Also, just now that it's official, not that anyone knew it was going to be anything different, Nathan MacKinnon is the Avs' first All-Star representative. So
What?
shocker, I know. Crazy out here.
I mean, after some of the picks they made out east, I started to get a little like,
I didn't even look at the.
are they
picks
going to
on
get
this.
cute and make it Makar instead?
I didn't look at the picks. on
No,
these.
it is Nathan MacKinnon. That is going to wrap up this pregame show, though. We thank you all for hanging out with us. No watch along today because the Nuggets do play, but we will be live postgame breaking down everything that goes on in this game. Go give us a follow on Twitter if you want to keep up with us during the game, DNVR_Avalanche. We will see you after the game, and we will talk to you then.
We all silly like the mayor.